Hello, I'm Beth Wagner, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Today, I'm going to talk to you about when to use a brace on the elbow, and equally important, when not to use a brace on the elbow. I'm also going to show you two different styles of brace, one that is more specific to the elbow joint, and the other that is more specific for a tennis elbow injury or overuse condition. First, I'll talk a little bit about braces in general, and then I'll get into the specifics of braces for the elbow. A brace provides external support to the joint or joints in the area. It limits motion to varying degrees depending on the type of the brace. It also limits muscle activation in the area, allowing the muscles to rest and recover. Some braces also provide compression, which decreases inflammation in the area. Now I'll cover a couple of the main indications for wearing a brace. The first indication for using a brace at the elbow would be for joint instability, following some kind of elbow sprain, such as a hyperextension injury or some kind of ligament tear in the elbow region. So a brace would be a helpful tool to provide external support anytime you're using your arm. So lifting, reaching, performing everyday household tasks. The second indication for using a brace around the elbow would be for tendonitis, tendinosis, overuse injuries. A great example of this is tennis elbow and golfer's elbow. Today I'm going to show you a brace specifically for tennis elbow. While a general elbow brace might work well for tennis elbow, there are specific braces made that put pressure on the tendon involved that help to decrease rubbing or friction of that tendon against the bones close to the tendon. Now, the specific tennis elbow brace is best worn for repetitive or long duration activities. Things like cooking or using specific tools that require rotating through the elbow or bending of your wrist in this motion. Now, with all braces, it's best to use them as a temporary tool to provide external support for a joint or to decrease pressure on a tendon and to decrease inflammation while the tissues are healing. Ideally, it's best to wean from the brace as soon as the area is strong enough or has decreased tension, tightness, inflammation, enough to do the work on its own. Typically, this is a gradual process. That's why we want to wean from using the brace slowly, gradually over time as the tissue heals. Extended use of a brace can cause further issues in a joint due to disuse of the muscles in the area, as well as stiffness from lack of movement in the area. As the tissues heal, you want to be using the joint, using the muscles in the area more and more. As you rely on the brace, less and less. It's a gradual process over time. Okay, before I show you the two specific examples I have for you today, I want to talk a little bit about the best way to choose a good fitting brace. First of all, you want to see if it is adjustable or a fixed size. For braces that come in a fixed size, typically there are parameters right there on the package to show you how to measure the elbow to be sure that you're choosing the correct size. Also, some braces are adjustable for the left side and the right side, while others are fixed. And finally, consider the fabric of the brace. Typically, if you're choosing a more rigid, firm support brace, then the fabric is going to be dense, which makes it less flexible, less breathable, and a little bit hotter, a little thicker. That goes along with the higher degree of support. Typically, with a mild or a moderate support brace, the fabrics are lighter, more breathable, and more flexible, which goes along with the lighter amount of support. If you know that you have an allergy to a certain type of fabric, then of course be sure to look at the packaging to choose an appropriate brace for you. Okay, let me show you the first brace, which is an elbow joint brace. This is a moderate support brace that is adjustable. This is a great choice for that middle of the road level of support. So it will still provide some movement. It can be used for everyday activities or for light sports. It will restrict some degree of motion while still allowing basic movement. Okay, the first thing we'll do is to remove the Velcro straps. Okay, with the brace open, Here we can see there is a sleeve of fabric there. Now, anytime you're looking at a brace, be sure to open the straps and look to see if there is any type of top or bottom, inside, outside, left and right, etc. indicated on the brace. If there is, then follow those instructions. If there's no such indication, then typically it is adjustable. There is no specific up or down, etc. Oftentimes you can also just tell by the shape of the brace where it needs to go on your body. Now this angle here, it's pretty clear that this is where my elbow should go, so that the brace will bend and allow a little bit of movement at the elbow. Okay, so opening it like this, I'm just going to slide my hand right through the sleeve and bring it up so that my elbow is right in the crease through the back of the brace. Okay, that feels pretty good there. All right, now I'll strap the bottom Velcro strap, going that direction, and now I'll pull the top strap across my arm and pull it snug but not tight. Okay. That feels like a nice amount of compression. I've got a good snug hug around my elbow, and I can still bend my elbow a little bit. Not all the way, it gets tight there, but I'm still able to bend quite a bit. I'm still able to move around while feeling a moderate amount of support. Now moving on to the tennis elbow brace. Now if you have tennis elbow, you likely know exactly where it's sore, but another way to feel that area is to put your fingers on that outer part of your elbow and then lift your hand up, extending the wrist, and you'll feel the muscle pop right up into your fingers. That's the tendon that's involved in tennis elbow. Okay, let me show you the brace. And this is labeled as a moderate support brace. This is really more of a strap. Remove the Velcro. Now, if we pull the Velcro all the way out, so that it's just a strip of strapping material, you'll see this blue pad. This blue pad goes right over the tendon, right over the sore spot. Now with this brace, it is much easier to put on your arm if this strap is already through the ring here. I'll pull the strap through just enough so that I can still put my arm through here. All right, so the blue pad again goes on the sore spot. So I'll slide it on, and that blue pad is right there. Again, you typically know where your sore spot is. If you want confirmation that you're on the right spot, bend your wrist up. And that blue pad should go right across the part of the muscle that you feel pop up when you bend your wrist. Go ahead and put the brace against your arm, and we'll pull the strap closed. Just like so. And then I can reach underneath and make sure that the blue pad is in the right spot. Now, if I want it a little bit tighter, I can cinch up on the Velcro here, pull around, and pull the Velcro a little bit tighter. All right, we want it snug, but not tight. Let's talk about a couple ways to make sure that you have fit your brace appropriately. In order to be sure it's not too tight, look for changes in skin color in the area below the brace. So if I'm wearing it here, I want to look at the skin on my hand. I want to be sure that it's not turning red, blue, purple, or white, that skin is staying the same color as the other hand. You also want to look for signs of inflammation or swelling. You shouldn't be getting sausage fingers. You shouldn't be noticing any increase in fluid or puffiness in your hand or the lower part of your arm. You also don't want any numbness and tingling, no pins and needles in your arm or your hand. If you notice those things starting to happen, take a break from the brace. Take it off, let your body rest, and when you put it back on, loosen it up a little bit. Try backing off the tightness of the brace to where it feels snug, but you no longer notice those things happening in your hand or lower arm. Also, be sure to look at your skin when you take the brace off. Make sure that you aren't developing any blisters, abrasions, pinch points, or any other evidence of irritation in your skin. If that happens, make sure that you don't have any creases in the brace. You might also try wearing fabric sleeve underneath the brace. You could try using a sock and cut the foot of the sock off so that you have just the sleeve, and you could try wearing that underneath the brace. Sometimes that works for people, sometimes not so much. It's worth a shot. Also notice if you're developing a rash. That could indicate an allergy to the type of fabric. If that's the case, also try using some type of fabric between your skin and the brace. You might also need to change the brace entirely and switch fabric. Finally, the last tip I want to include is taking care of the brace. The best way to wash it is in warm soapy water and then let it hang dry. Don't put it in the washing machine or the dryer, and don't use bleach or other harsh chemicals on it. All right, I hope this information about wearing an elbow brace has been helpful for you. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm able. Here's to your healing, health, and happiness. Have a fantastic day.